long, exhausting journey finally concludes, Tam and his companion Han arrive at the stunning shores of Phan Rang Beach. Their physical fatigue is entirely rewarded by the vast, beautiful ocean before them. A massive purple jellyfish drifts nearby. Avoiding its potential sting, the divers carefully carry their heavy gear toward the cool shade beneath the giant coastal rocks to prepare for diving. Exhaustion quickly sets in. Pushing the motorcycle through the sinking sand had drained their physical energy. Yet the anticipation of the dive overrides this deep fatigue. Tam points toward the submerged rocks, explaining their plan to search for snails hidden within the crevices. They intend to cook whatever they find right there on the shore, turning a simple foraging trip into an impromptu seaside meal. Preparation demands absolute precision. Tam carefully applies a thin layer of toothpaste to the inner lenses of the diving mask to prevent fogging, then rinses them lightly with seawater to maintain a clear, protective film. With their gear fully secured and headbands tightened for a snug fit, the two divers exchange a final signal of readiness before plunging together into the deeper, unexplored waters ahead. The underwater realm reveals its hidden treasures. Tam spots a remarkably large black urchin nestled deep within the rocky crevices with precise and careful movements. He uses his long knife to pry the creature loose from the stone. He surfaces with this spiky prize, clearly thrilled by the sheer size of his first significant catch in these refreshingly cool and crystal clear waters. A beautiful leopard pattern shell catches his eye. What he painstakingly extracts from the sandy seabed is not a living creature, but rather a completely empty shell, bringing a mix of amusement and mild disappointment to the diver. This seemingly valuable find turns out to be entirely hollow, a hollow prize that offers no sustenance for their efforts beneath the waves. A massive jet-black sea cucumber is revealed deep within the rocky fissures. With practiced skill, Tam uses his blade to carefully pry the heavy, soft creature from its hiding place. He struggles to stabilize the enormous catch underwater before finally breaking the surface with a triumphant shout. The sheer weight of the cucumber tests his balance as he holds it aloft. His face lights up with undeniable joy, while Han looks on in sheer awe at the impressive size of the find. The underwater hunt intensifies dramatically. Tam wedges his long knife into the deep rock crevice, leveraging it with all his strength to pry loose a colossal wild oyster. He swims upward through the dark water, triumphantly holding the heavy prize above the surface for all to see. His joy is palpable as he glides directly through a dense, shimmering school of silver fish that parts and reforms around him in a dazzling display. The exposed shore camp offers little shelter from the elements. Han sits shivering by the fire, his face flushed red as he suffers from the biting cold and a strange bout of seasickness. Tam arrives with a green net bulging with their hard-earned harvest. Weary diver untees the bag on the smooth rocks, eager to share the abundant gifts of the ocean with his companion. The true bounty is revealed as the net is emptied. Among the scattered shells lie two magnificent spider snails, one red and one purple, alongside several rare flat abalones that Tam had meticulously collected from the deep. Observing the superior quality of these premium catches, Han readily admits that his companion has secured the far more valuable portion of the harvest. Cooking begins over the open flame. Tam feeds wood to build a steady bed of glowing coals. He boils the moon snails but reserves the precious abalones and oysters for grilling to preserve their natural flavors. Two small sea urchins are placed near the embers to roast. He then prepares the delicate abalone, noting that brief heat is enough to cook it without toughening the meat. Tam lifts a steaming, translucent piece of abalone, its texture glistening vividly under the bright sun and charcoal heat. He presents this tempting delicacy to Han, who carefully dips the clean, plump meat into a bowl of spicy red chili sauce. Taking a substantial bite, the companion closes his eyes to fully savor the flavor, praising the remarkably chewy texture as comparable to high-end restaurant quality. The flavor profile shifts unexpectedly. What they crack open next is not a standard oyster, but rather a rough shell that closely resembles a snail. This discovery leads to shared laughter over a moss-covered rock-like object they had mistakenly been grilling, while the abalone's chewiness is undeniable. Tam notes that the dipping sauce leans slightly to salty for his personal taste preferences. The oyster surprises them. Han tastes the pinkish-white meat, noting an initial burst of seawater salinity that quickly gives way to a profound, lingering sweetness. Tam nods in agreement, explaining how the ocean water permeates the shell to create this unique flavor. Culinary exploration continues as Han hands over a massive pink snail shell, from which Tam extracts a large glistening piece of reddish meat, his face shining with sweat and achievement under the bright sun. Tam marvels at the snail, declaring its flesh for sweeter than the previous oyster. He points to the thick connective tissue, explaining that this specific part holds the most abundant and flavorful meat. Beside them, a pot boils violently, filled with strange shells gathered in just 1 hour. Facing a massive, tightly sealed giant conch, Tam finds the knife tip useless against the hard shell. He places it on the rock and uses the heavy handle of his diving blade to strike the edge repeatedly, until the crisp sound of breaking shell echoes across the rocky beach. The relentless hammering sends shell fragments flying in all directions. Tam displays immense patience, striking again and again until he finally pries open the massive fortress, revealing the incredibly thick and tender white meat hidden deep within. Han watches with bated breath, marveling at the sheer volume of the prize. She dips a large piece into the vibrant red chili sauce, seemingly ignoring Tam's caution about the intense saltiness, and takes a huge, satisfying bite for the camera. The final extraction reveals a stunning surprise. Tam carefully pulls out a long, gradient-colored piece of meat, shifting from vibrant orange to pale yellow. He initially expects a tough and chewy texture bracing for resistance, yet to their absolute astonishment, the flesh proves remarkably crisp and sweet. It offers a delightful crunch that closely mimics the satisfying snap of fresh squid, defying all prior expectations.
Thịt nó ngọt, ngọt mà dài lắm. Dài. Anh ăn giòn, vậy là răng em dở rồi. Dính rồi cả nhà. Đây.
But a new challenge emerges in the narrow, jagged rock crevice. Tam wields a rusty iron pry bar with intense focus, engaging in a fierce physical struggle against the stubborn mural eel hidden within. Using his immense arm strength, he finally drags the slippery, writhing creature out from its tight hiding spot. Back on the rocky shore, the shivering diver proudly displays the massive catch to Han. His body trembles, visible from prolonged exposure to the cold water. Yet his spirit remains high as he warns his companion about the dangerous, snapping jaws of the still active prey. The fire claims the catch. Tam threads the massive mural onto a wooden spit, placing it over the roaring flames where the skin turns golden and the fat sizzles loudly as the rich aroma fills the air. Han watches the roasting fish in deep anticipation, realizing that their hard day's labor is about to culminate in a magnificent feast. Shelter must be secured. Tam drags heavy, discarded corrugated iron and thick ship ropes into the cave, constructing a sturdy windbreak to protect their sanctuary from the harsh coastal elements. Han marvels at the massive ropes, while Tam arranges flat stone plates near the fire, transforming the dark, rugged cave into a surprisingly functional dining area. The feast is fully assembled. Han plates the roasted eel chunks and rich fish roe alongside slices of tart green mango, a combination designed to cut through the rich fat. Tam explains how these eels thrive within the coral reefs, then expertly tilt a bowl of spicy sauce to coat the mango. The vibrant colors of the dish contrast beautifully with the dancing flames in the background, creating a visually stunning presentation that highlights the natural beauty of their ingredients. The meal exceeds all expectations. Tam chews thoughtfully, praising the incredibly firm yet flavorful meat of the reef-dwelling eel. He recounts the accidental nature of their catch, explaining how he failed to hook smaller fish due to an oversized hook. He then holds up a massive, pristine white piece of fish roe to the light, marveling at its tender, exquisite texture. They continue their warm, satisfying meal in the cozy cave, sharing food and conversation in a moment of pure contentment.